You wake up, go to the corner bakery and order, "Give me a French bread, please." It seems simple, doesn't it? But what if I told you that this crusty little roll, which is a national passion, holds a secret? A story of travels, nobility, bakers, and a Brazilian twist that no one expects. Get your coffee cup ready, because today I'm going to tell you the true story of French bread. Spoiler alert, it's not French. We are at the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. Brazil was living through a period of enchantment with European culture, especially French culture. This phase became known as the Belle Époque. The Brazilian elite traveled to France and were dazzled by everything there. The fashion, the perfumes, the cafes, and, of course, the food. In Paris at that time, the bakery was a temple. Bread was a work of art, long loaves with a golden, crispy crust and a soft, white crumb. It was the baguette, or its direct cousins, the pains francais. Such a luxury! Upon returning to Brazil, these wealthy families missed that bread. The problem was that in Brazil, back then, the bread was different. It was a darker, denser bread, made with whole wheat flours, very different from the light, white bread they had tried in Europe. After all, colonial Brazil had a tradition of Portuguese breads, which were heavier. So, what does a wealthy family do when they want something that isn't available around? They order it. The order was given to the local bakers. And who were these bakers? For the most part, they were Portuguese immigrants, masters in the art of kneading and baking, but who had never seen a French bread in their lives. They listened to the description. "We want a lighter bread with a little crispy crust and a very soft crumb. Just like the one in France." But there was no recipe, no manual. There was only flour, water, salt, and yeast. And the attempt. Then the magic of Brazilian cooking began: adaptation. With the wheat flour available in Brazil, often imported but with different characteristics than French flour, and with our hot, humid climate, the Portuguese bakers started creating a new bread. They didn't copy it, they reinvented it. The result was a smaller, firmer loaf, with an even thicker and crispier crust on the outside, but with a white and soft crumb on the inside. It wasn't the long, thin baguette of France. It was a more robust, stronger bread, with a shape that resembled a small tulip. A genuinely Brazilian creation, baked in Brazilian ovens. And what name to give this new delicacy? Well, the elite asked for bread in the style of France. The bakers, to please their customers and give a touch of sophistication to the product, started calling it French bread. The name stuck. It was a way of saying, "This bread has the quality and charm of the breads you ate in Europe." And so, our little roll was baptized. A French name for a Brazilian heart. And like any good Brazilian, French bread loves a bit of confusion. If you travel around Brazil, you'll see that it has several aliases. In Rio Grande do Sul, asking for French bread might get you a strange look. There, it's the famous cacetinho. In Pernambuco, get ready, you'll ask for salt bread or jacoes bread. In Serra, it's known as carioquinha, little person from Rio. And in Minas Gerais and Bahia, the most common name is salt bread. But make no mistake, whatever the name, the soul is the same. It's the everyday bread, the companion to coffee with milk, melting butter, the ham and cheese toast tie, and the fried egg. Today, Brazil consumes millions of French breads per day. The recipe, which was born from an attempt, was perfected and became the standard. The dough is basically made of wheat flour, water, salt, yeast, and in some recipes, a touch of sugar or fat to give that special flavor. It's so important that it even has a national day. March 21st is French Bread Day. It's impressive to think that a bread so truly ours, so present in our daily lives, was born from a creative misunderstanding. From an attempt to imitate a foreign bread that resulted in something unique and unmistakable. The French chef Olivier Anquier, who has lived in Brazil for decades, has joked about this story in several interviews. He says it's absurd to call this bread French, because in France it simply doesn't exist. And in one of his most famous phrases, he proposes, "Stop calling it French bread. This is Brazilian bread." And come to think of it, he's absolutely right. The little roll is ours. So, the next time you bite into a warm, French bread. Remember, you're not just eating bread. You're tasting a piece of Brazilian history. A story of encounters, adaptations, and that incredible ability Brazilians have to take inspiration from abroad and transform it into something absolutely their own. And you, did you already know this story? Do you know it by another name in your city? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tasty stories like this one. A hug, and see you next time.